I know it may be March, but Santa Claus still knows if you've been bad or good. Kash Patel, meanwhile, he skips the naughty list and just buys the information from your phone. And this is going to sound like some nerdy data crap until it doesn't, so stick with me on this. Congress passed a law in 2015 saying that federal agencies cannot collect bulk data on American citizens. It's a good law, smart, it's constitutionally sound. We don't want the government spying on us. Except the government agencies found a loophole. Instead of collecting the data, they just buy it. They buy it for themselves. From a data broker company that harvests your location information from your phone apps, your fitness tracker, your weather app, your shopping apps, that app that you don't want your husband to see. And they sell all of that information in bulk to anyone willing to pay. And who's willing to pay? The FBI and ICE. No warrant needed because technically the government isn't collecting the data. They're just purchasing it from the equivalent of a guy in an alley. At least that's what I picture. And that guy stole it from your phone. And look, the Constitution's clear. The Fourth Amendment says the government needs probable cause and a warrant to search you. But a data broker, you just have to pay them $47 for a spreadsheet because that's totally different somehow. This week, at a Senate hearing, Senator Ron Wyden asked Kash Patel about this directly. He's the FBI director, the man with the well-documented enemies list, the man that said publicly that he plans to use the FBI to pursue Trump's political opponents. And he would not commit to not buying Americans' location data without a warrant. He said on tape, we do purchase commercially available information, and it has led to some valuable intelligence for us. He's not committing to stop. He's bragging about how it works for them. He says it's consistent with the law. And of course, that law was written before there was a loophole that they could exploit. It's a law that 130 civil society organizations this week said is being used for unprecedented expansion of warrantless mass surveillance, sweeping up the private information of communities across America.
We do purchase commercially available information that's consistent with the Constitution and the laws under the Electronic Communications Privacy Act, and it has led to some valuable intelligence for us to be utilized with our private and partner sectors.
So you're saying that the agency will buy Americans' location data? I believe that that's what you've said in kind of intelligence lingo, and I just want to say, as we start this debate, doing that without a warrant is an outrageous end run around the Fourth Amendment. It's particularly dangerous given the use of artificial intelligence to comb through massive amounts of private information.
Scary. And for good measure, just to scare all of you even more, let's sprinkle in a little AI here, because the reason that this is more alarming now than it was in 2020 is that the government has shown that AI can now process that bulk location data in ways that weren't possible 5 years ago. And the government has made a $500 billion investment in AI. They can find out where you go to church, who you met with, what protests you attended, what clinics you visited, which store you decide to purchase more cheese than it's feasible for one person to eat in one sitting at least. That's my situation. Still all purchasable. They have all of that data, and they purchase all of it. And the man who runs the FBI, who's expressed interest in targeting the administration's political enemies, will not commit to not buying it. In fact, he has bragged about buying it. But he will commit to locker room drunken parties, it seems. Fortunately, there are people on both sides that see this as a problem. There is bipartisan legislation to fix it. Warren Davidson and Mike Lee on the right, Zoe Lofgren and Ron Wyden on the left, as part of the FISA reauthorization that expires April 20th. But we know that the Trump administration is going to fight this, because the power to buy your location data without a warrant and point it at anyone is not something this administration is willing to give up, especially with DHS at play, especially with November's voting at play. So yes, Kash Patel sees you with his bulging eyes, and he knows when you're awake, and he knows when you've bought too much cheese, because he bought the data from your phone. So you know what you should do? You should give Kash even more places to track you. Track this site, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make Kash Patel know about my show.